Senator, when you sat down, I swear I saw a target on your back. It looked like a big bullseye. You have been targeted more than any other U.S. senator in this election cycle. What has made you so popular, my friend?
They hate my guts. Every liberal in Hollywood is trying to turn South Carolina into California. My opponent's going to raise $100 million. What's this about? Kavanaugh's revenge. I stood up for Kavanaugh, a great man who was trying to have his life ruined, and I fought back, and I dare help President Trump. The unpardonable sin of American politics is to try to help President Trump. Those two things have led to my race being the most expensive race, maybe in the history of the United States Senate. If you can help me with $5 or $10 to fight back against Hollywood, LindseyGraham.com. The Lord wants 10%. I'll take $5. LindseyGraham.com.
I'm being somewhat facetious, but honestly, I do think your race is the single most expensive Senate race.
Yeah.
I've never seen a senator that has been targeted to the degree you have with the amount of money, and especially for an opponent that, if it weren't for the hate toward you, would not be that strong an opponent.
That's an understatement. He's a fine fellow, but he's never served a day in office. This is hate money, and here's what I believe. Love conquers hate, that the money that's being given to beat me is driven by hate, and those who are praying for me counteract the money. Please pray for me. Pray for the people of South Carolina. Pray for our president. Mike, I'm excited. I'm excited about the fact that $100 million is not close to enough to buy South Carolina and turn it into a socialist enclave. I'm excited about President Trump's reelection. He's done a heck of a job. He's been the best pro-life president in my lifetime. Great for the military. So they've got all the money in the world. We just have the best ideas.
It's significant that you are at the center of two of the most significant stories happening in Washington right now as chairman of the Judiciary Committee. I, for one, am very glad you're there because I feel like that the leadership that you're giving is critical. Let's first discuss one of the big stories. Last week, James Comey testified. Revelations have come out of the Director of National Intelligence that now show, without doubt, that high-level FBI and intel officials targeted President Trump in the summer of 2016 when he was a candidate. Will anyone pay the price for what they did, which was illegal, unethical, and absolutely immoral?
Well, Mike, that's a good question. If people are not fired and if people don't go to jail, they'll do this again.
Yeah.
If they can do it to Trump, what could they do to me and you? And it's a Republican today. It could be a Democrat tomorrow. So what did we learn from the testimony of Jim Comey? He apparently was a part-time employee at the FBI. He must have a job at the 7-Eleven because he didn't know anything. I almost asked him, do you have a TV? Do you read the paper? He didn't know that the Russian subsource that prepared the Steele dossier was thought by the FBI to be a Russian spy. He didn't know Christopher Steele, who was hired by the Democratic Party to dig up dirt on Donald Trump, hated Donald Trump. He didn't know that the FBI and the CIA believed that the Russian dossier was Russian disinformation. He clearly didn't know anything about those things exculpatory to Carter Page, helpful to Donald Trump, but he knew everything that was against Trump. So I found it to be astonishing. It was disgusting. It was sad to hear the FBI director to claim he knew nothing about the most abusive investigation in the history of the FBI since J. Edgar Hoover.
How high did this go? Did this go all the way to the White House?
Here's what I can tell you, Mike. I can tell you that in January the 4th, Mr. Barnett, the case agent, wanted to drop the case against General Flynn because he said there's no evidence that General Flynn is working with the Russians. January the 5th, Comey meets with Obama and Biden in the White House. They keep the investigation going. I can tell you this, that the CIA director briefed President Obama in July of 2016 about an intercept regarding Russian intelligence alleging that Hillary Clinton had approved a plan to link Donald Trump to Russia as part of her campaign. I can tell you that in September, the intelligence community sent over a lead to the FBI saying that they picked up information that Hillary Clinton was trying to accuse Donald Trump of working with the Russians to take heat off her for the email and server problem that she had. And James Comey said, never heard of it, doesn't ring a bell. It's hard to believe that Obama didn't know about this when he was briefed by the CIA in July of 2016. And I know for sure in January 2017, he kept the investigation against Flynn going when the FBI professionals wanted to end it.
I'm glad you're pursuing it. Somebody has to. Let's change the subject. The other huge story, and that's the confirmation hearings for Supreme Court Justice nominee Amy Coney Barrett. It seems like, Senator, that the attack on her is not her qualifications, it's that she's too much of a Christian. I've never heard of anything so ridiculous in my life. How will you approach this during the confirmation hearings?
Well, the Constitution is on Amy's side. You know, this country was founded by people fleeing religious oppression, living under the thumb of the king, and the first thing they wanted to do is to make sure that every American has free exercise of their faith and make sure that the government didn't establish a religion like they did in England. And also there's a provision in the Constitution, Mike, that says there shall be no religious test when it comes to serving your government. So this idea that anybody would hold her faith against her is not only wrong, it's unconstitutional. And Democrats attack Amy Barrett's religion at their own peril. She's a devout Catholic. She's raising 7 kids. If she can handle 7 kids, she can handle Senate Judiciary Democrats. She has nothing to apologize for. Here's the one thing I promise you, that she will not take her faith and make law based on her faith. She will make the law based on the statute written and the constitutional provisions as written. But it is okay to be religious in America, and the day it's not, God help us all.
You were stellar in the Kavanaugh hearings. You boldly took on the other side, and you told them that if they pushed this, they would rue the day. Do you think they now rue the day?
Well, they brought us together unlike anybody else. Judge Kavanaugh was a wonderful man. They tried to destroy his life to keep the seat open. If they do this to Amy Barrett, it will backfire like it did with Kavanaugh. And to your audience, I promise you that we're going to move forward on this nomination. We're going to have a hearing starting October the 22nd. We're going to report her to the floor October the 22nd, and we'll get this fine lady confirmed before the election because the Constitution allows it. And if the shoe were on the other foot, the Democrats sure as heck would do it.
No doubt about that. Senator, it's great to see you. Thank you. And I hope folks will jump in and help you. Great to have you with us. All the best.
Thank you.
Now, you can follow the Senator on social media at Lindsey Graham SC. Also, visit his campaign website, lindseygraham.com. That's where you can contribute to him and learn more about him.